many banks have you robbed?
A few. Dozen. Relax.
I'm rehabilitated and shit. So what's your deal? You single?
Welcome to Something Crunchy, the Valley's #1 comedy entertainment podcast. Biscuit is homies with Blake. Blake is the older brother of Blair. And Blair is married to Biscuit. Here are your hosts, Colin Blake with Blair and Tyler Dressel.
All right. Welcome to Something Crunchy. I'm Colin Blake. With me, as always, Blair and Tyler Dressel. Thank you for joining us by way of 97.3 The Rattler, wherever you get your podcast. We have another very crunchy guest joining us tonight. He's an actor, filmmaker, and producer who you've seen in movies like Focus, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Renfield, shows like Stumptown, The Blacklist Redemption, and Only Murders in the Building. Please welcome Adrian Martinez.
You can almost hear everyone say, who?
Thank you for joining us, Adrian. Good to have you on. What's new with you?
Oh, man, I'm just feeling really good. Just got back from a little trip to Punta Cana.
Ooh,
Really?
fun.
What'd you do there?
And I ate, I slept, I swam in the Caribbean.
That sounds
I ate,
so
I slept.
nice.
So jealous.
I swam in the Caribbean. I ate, I slept, I swam in the Caribbean. Then I kind of mixed it up, and I ate and then slept. And
You gotta
then I
mix it
went to the
up.
Caribbean. Yeah.
You sound so nice and relaxed, and yeah, it sounds like you've been on Caribbean time. Very jealous.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
Well, you are a very busy guy outside of the Caribbean. How do you like spending your time outside of work?
You know, it's really a good opportunity to keep the ball moving because as far as I'm concerned, you're always working if you're an actor. If you're not filming something or if you're not preparing for a role, you need to absolutely develop your own projects, which is why I'm so proud of, say, for example, Margot Robbie, who had worked with Focus. And,
Yeah.
you know, she works and then she put together her own production company, empowering women with every project. And
That's awesome.
I don't know whatever happened to her, but
I was going
I'm
to say,
just so proud of her.
I am proud of Margot Robbie, and despite all of those physical defects,
Flaws,
and
really.
yes, outside of all of her
What she
imperfections,
just had to go through.
she was still able to overcome. And no, that is good for her. And I didn't know that about the production company.
No, that is awesome.
Oh, yeah, everything she does, she produces herself, including Barbie, and I'm just so proud of her, you know?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's winning, win-win.
Get it, girl.
Staying busy.
I texted her, but it came back as a Wendy's in Oklahoma, and I don't know.
I got Jack in the Box in Toledo. It's the same thing on our side. I don't get it.
Quality food, that's it.
I know you're a fan of the New York Metropolitans, and I also found it interesting that you are a Packer fan, even before all those commercials with Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, it's actually true. I'm long-suffering with the Mets, long-suffering. Listen, it's kind of like being born, you know, like with like six figures, you know, like you're stuck with it. You can't really do anything about it, and you just, you know. But hopefully we'll turn it around next year. I was a Jets fan my whole life, and also when I went to college at Fordham, I kind of got into the Packer culture because Vince Lombardi's journey to Super Bowl, you know, fame actually started as an outsider. You know, just a guy who nobody really wanted because back in the day, he was, you know, considered an outcast because of his Italian background.
Right.
They thought he was mobbed up. They literally thought this. So he could only get assistant jobs. And the New York Giants had an opening, and still again, he only got the assistant job. So the one team that actually gave him an opportunity was the one team no one wanted to coach, which was Green Bay, because it was in the middle of, like, frozen tundra, and they were terrible. And he said, I'm going to go there. I'm going to be the head coach, and we are going to win. And the rest is history.
Wow,
And,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I felt like an outsider, too, being a Latino actor and a predominantly white employed, film work. And I said to myself, listen, if Lombardi can do it, I can do it. And hopefully one day I'll prove him right.
And you did.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
Adrian. That is a cool story about Lombardi. And I'm surprised there's not more mobbed up coaches in the NFL. I would have to think that that's pretty effective as a tactic for motivation.
Well,
No kidding.
the Raiders are in Vegas, so let's see how that plays out.
Were you sad to see Aaron Rodgers go, or are you ready to see the next QB?
No, listen, again, I'm born and raised in New York. I always was a Jets fan, long-suffering Jets fan. And the Packers, came along in college as I was a fan. And then later on, when I got to play with these guys and hang out, have meals with Aaron Rodgers, I was just like, wow, this is great. But I always had a soft spot for the Jets because I'm a New Yorker, born and raised. And so when Rodgers came to New York, it was like surreal because, I
Went
got
from
my
one
boy
team to the
here
other,
and Adam.
yeah.
That's
So exciting.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, the first series of downs, he gets hurt.
I was going to say, those 4 snaps must have been like really exciting for you.
Yeah, the first 2 were really awesome, and,
This is our year.
the third one, I was popping champagne, and then the fourth, damn it. But again, if you follow the Jets as I have my entire life, it's very Jets-like.
It is very Jets-like. It
very,
fits right in with Jets culture.
There was a year when the Jets were 10-0, and everybody thought, listen, I think I put my Super Bowl ring in the left hand just to kind of mix it up, And then, of course, they lost the next set. They lost the next 6 games or something. It was just classic Jets. So you just have to, take one step at a time. I'm glad Zach Wilson's turning it around. But, until they are, in Vegas for the Super Bowl, we'll just wait.
Just wait before we crown him.
Yeah.
Well, after everything we've seen you in, it's hard to imagine, but what would you be doing if you weren't an actor?
Well, I like inspecting rotisserie chicken.
I love
There's
those.
a deli on my corner, and they put the rotisserie right in the window, and you can just watch it like for days. Like to see it just kind of slow cook. And,
I see a TikTok
It
live
sounds
with your
fucking
name all
I
over
could
it.
phenomenal.
just picture him standing looking at the chicken.
You would have 10,000 followers watching you live at all times if you just sat there and watched rotisserie chicken all day.
that could be why I have 10,000 pounds. Right? No one gets it. But I get it, and the guy who runs the deli gets it. And he'll always
All
be
that
like,
matters.
Adrian, you want to check the chicken? I'm like, yeah, I want to check the chicken. I love to check the chicken. And I check the chicken,
It's a good thing that you have something to fall back on, but don't quit the day job.
Yeah. People laugh and think I'm crazy, but you know what? When they try the chicken, it's amazing. They're not
I
laughing.
bet it's the best fucking chicken ever.
And that's what you call checkmate.
Who have been some of your favorite comedic actors to work off of?
Oh, man.
Got some
Whew.
good ones.
That's yeah, man. Nicolas Cage in Renfield was interesting. It's actually the second time I worked with him, and I remember sitting in the trailer with him, and he's in full vampire gear, and all the makeup's on, and they're redoing these fingernails, which are like 4 inches long, and then I never spoke to him at first. Like I always waited for him to initiate a conversation. And then Nick says, Adrian, we find ourselves in very unique places. And I was like, I looked over at him, and it's totally Renfield. Totally Dracula. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, we absolutely do. And that was a reference to a movie we did, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, called Army of One. And it didn't go anywhere, but Larry Charles directed it, and
Army of
in that
One.
movie, Army of One, 2016. And in that movie, it was just an offer. They're like, "You want to go to Vancouver for a week and shoot something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so I'm in Vancouver, and I played like this weird Mexican, what's the word? Salesman. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I'm angry at Nick Cage's character because I just feel like he's messing up my business. And it was just like a very weird encounter. And then, flash forward to last year, and then we're sitting there, and, I'm a cop, he's a vampire, I'm trying to catch him. And he's like, "Yeah, we find ourselves in very unique places." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. Anytime with you." So I love Nick Cage. He's me. I hope to be him when I grow up, is what I'm saying.
We all hope to be
We all
Nick
just
Cage
want to
when we
be
grow up.
Cage.
Did he ever go method actor when he was in full makeup like that, doing the Dracula thing?
Oh, he wouldn't speak to anyone. He was very intense about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was very intense about it. And I wasn't gonna mess with that because he's the king of darkness. Like I'm not gonna. He can mess me up. Forget about it. So I just respected his process, and I waited for him to initiate conversations, and I laid low. And then on my last day, he did me a favor of doing a selfie with me, and that was cool. And I actually have it framed in my restroom.
That's cool.
That is cool. Have you worked with any other actors that were kind of overly method on set?
Oh, well, it's interesting. I mean, they all have their own technique,
Right.
Actors are like fingerprints, they're very unique. But I think if you say the word method, I definitely think Christian Bale in American Hustle had a lot of that.
Yes.
Of course, Will Smith in Focus was very, very serious. He very committed to the craft. Let's see. The Dogs again, and Lady in the Tramp. Who's really intense? Jake Gyllenhaal. I did a movie with him called The Guilty. He is so super intense. My God,
I can believe that.
He is intense. Yeah. This is a scene where I just kind of like he's like lost in his own world watching this video on a monitor, and I came up to him in the scene, and I'm just supposed to like tap his shoulder and say, "Hey, get back in it." And when I did that, he turned around and like grabbed me by the chest, like as if he was going to kill me.
Oh.
And I'm like, "Was that in the script?" Mama!
Help me!
Decaf, Jake, decaf. No, but it was really intense, man.
Yeah, that would be. He seems like one of those guys for sure. Which acting styles do you feel best suits you?
Well, it's called employment. Whatever
comes.
Whatever it takes, Bolo. No, but honestly, I have my own technique. I've been doing this a minute, and I just feel like at this point, everything I've learned, it's just like in my DNA now. At this point, like I was just working with Rami Malek in London on a movie called The Amateur.
Ooh.
And that has to be completed. We got interrupted because of the strike.
Right.
But he is just so super intense in this movie. Think of him in Bohemian Rhapsody and then go 180% the other way. Like it's just like
Ooh.
a fantastic performance. Yeah.
Wow. Looking forward to that.
He's going to crush this. Rachel Brosnahan plays his wife.
She's great.
Yeah, she's beautiful, beautiful lady.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I just sort of take something from all these great actors. I remember working with Sidney Pollack when I did The Interpreter. I was shitting bricks. I was so nervous because my scene was with Nicole Kidman and he was directing.
Wow.
Everyone there had an Oscar.
Yeah,
Everybody had an Oscar. Like the DP everybody had an Oscar but me, you know. And then the craft service guy was nominated for an Oscar. So like everybody had an Oscar.
Hey, you are there.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like I have to pee. I don't know what to do. And Sydney came up to me and she's like, dude, she's really good, you know, she's got you. You know, just take deep breaths. Pollock was very much an actor's director. You know, he had such an investment in making sure that the actors felt safe on set. And for me, that's the number one thing,
Yeah.
is making sure your actors really, really feel safe and can take deep breaths and just be themselves in performance. And then you add on the layer of the character as if you're building a house, you know. And Pollock really made that possible. So I had like a couple brain farts. I was nervous, and then he just calmed me down. And then I did a take, and I crushed it. And that's the take you see in the movie, The Interpreter.
Oh,
And then he did me such a favor. Like, I said to him, how about if I improvise to Nicole Kidman a sort of strange flirt type thing? And he was like, what? Go ahead, shoot it. Go ahead, do it.
I'm intrigued.
So-
Do it.
So in the scene, like, I play like the sound guy, like at the United Nations building, and I'm like the sound expert. And Nicole Kidman comes into my room, my office, and she's like, "Hey, can I leave my violin case here? It's just gonna be a minute." And I ad-libbed, "Okay, number one, stop flirting. It's not gonna happen." And Nicole looked at me like, "What?" Because she didn't. No one told her. And but okay, you can leave it there. Cut. You can hear Pollock cracking up hysterically. And it was just a great, generous thing to do, because this was a movie, you know, back in the day, and it cost $100 million. And like every second is, I don't know how many thousands of dollars. But he gave me that generous gift of being able to do a take where I ad-libbed for a second. I'm the writer. And it was just amazing to me how he just trusted me with that. And at that point, that's it, man. Whatever you want me to do, we're doing it. You know, that's it. And that was, I'll never forget Sidney Pollock.
So when you have that like super memorable and effective direction, does it carry over into other projects?
Yeah, I feel like it's, you know, it's much like life. Like even like think of the romantic partners you've all had in your lives. Like maybe they worked out or maybe they didn't, but they make an imprint, you know. And
Yes.
and hopefully you evolve from whatever experience it was that didn't work out, and you learn from it and you move forward. And for me, it's been the same kind of experience with acting, going from one role to the next. But always, like, I keep a bank of experiences and memories and thoughts that I just channel into the new opportunity.
You know, it's such a good analogy. When I think of the women who I've slept with, I like to think that all benefits the next person that I plan to be with. And it all carries over, these experiences. And I know I have that bank starting to build up.
Yeah. Is there like $1 in that bank? How much have we got?
How many bucks you got, bro?
$650.
$650.
Yeah.
You're known to be a big movie buff. What are some of your all-time favorite films?
Oh boy, here we go.
Loaded question, I know.
Oh man, you know, honestly, I live and die by the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
I always
great
felt,
choice.
yeah, get busy living or get busy dying. I've always felt like that movie was really, you know, an allegory for my own life, because we're all going through or have gone through or will go through some kind of shit that just gets in our way. And we just got to fight through it. And, you know, when Tim Robbins gets through that tunnel and pumps his hands into the air and the rain's cleaning him, I thought to myself, yeah, that's it. You just got to dig dig and dig and fight and keep going, man, till you get where you want to go. That has been exactly my experience as an actor and my career. Some people, you know, their uncle is Al Pacino and you're on your way, or other people,
Right.
like Selena Gomez, who started when she was 4, and then by the time she's 12, she's a star. And my career has been like this, brick by brick. We're making a period here. It's going to take 2,000 years, but trust me, when it's done, it's going to be amazing. And that's been my career. And I have no complaints because it's been really a great ride, man. I mean, I've been to 5 continents and all on some company's dime.
That's amazing.
And I've worked with over 30 Oscar nominated or winning stars. I mean, I've done my thing. And as a Latino actor, let me tell you something. When I was in Punta Cana, I try to lay low. I was with my lady and I'm just chilling. But the waiters recognized me and they all talked about Focus, which apparently is, for some reason, really popular there.
It's really popular here.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie. It deserved a better fate. But when I was down there, I was just like chilling, and they came up to me. Wait a second. Are you number 55 from Focus? Like, yeah, I am.
Are you 55?
And it's about con men, So I do this thing where I take my own wallet out, and then I handed it to the person. I say, here, you can have it back. Because it's all about con men,
Right.
And they start cracking up. But then one of them told me, you represent us, and you're really making a difference. And we feel really, really inspired by you, man. And just thank you. You said this in Spanish, but he said, thank you, man. We really, really, you don't know, but you really are having an effect. And that really blew me away, man. Because you get lost in the grind, like, okay, when's the strike over? I got to book something, and blah, blah, blah. And, but now and then, God whispers something like, hey, just FYI, you did something good, okay? And you can own it, and it's okay. And that was one moment down in Punta Cana where that happened.
When you were starting out and grinding, how many years did it take for you to feel like you belong and that you made it and that was going to be your career choice and this was going to be the thing that's going to take you to the levels that you wanted to be?
Oh, I'm still waiting.
Head down, grinded. It's
no,
never ending,
I don't. I do not. I'll be honest. I don't see myself as a success in those terms. I remember I was watching an interview with the writer James Baldwin, and he said, I don't. Once you see yourself as a success, where do you go? You have to always see yourself as a person, as an artist, doing his thing, doing her thing. And just always keep trying to pursue excellence and do your thing and keep going. And all these other distractions like celebrity or fame or success, none of that you can really own. The work is what you own. The work, the legacy, that's what you leave behind. And that stayed with me, that speech by Baldwin. To me, I just have to put this in here. There was this one moment. I'm on Metro North, which is a commuter rail in New York. And I'm by myself. The car's almost empty. And I noticed this teenage girl just kept kind of looking at me, giving me side eye. And, I went back to my phone, just kind of chilling. The train ends at Grand Central. And she came up to me. She was kind of nervous. And she said, were you in It's Kind of a Funny Story? Which is this independent film I did with Zach Galifianakis and Viola Davis, which I highly recommend everyone check out. It's just a beautiful story. Yeah. Were you in This Kind of a Funny Story? And I said, yeah. And she said, that movie saved my life.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh. Well, that's thank you. That's very moving to me. I hope you're okay on this journey. And that was it. She just walked away, and that was it.
Wow.
And if you know the movie,
yeah.
It's crazy. If you know the movie, you know that Emma Roberts, who was the lead, played a suicidal teen. And she falls in love with Kim Gilchrist, who's also, on the fringe of taking his own life. And when she said that, like it really affected me. It really, like, that's what matters. You know what I'm saying?
It is what matters, and that is a barometer for success too. I was going to say you mentioned impactful fan encounter, and you're also getting recognized outside of the country. That definitely defines some level of success. And you mentioned it was Farhad from Focus that they recognized you for. Is that kind of what you're most recognized for, that role?
It's funny. It really depends on where I'm at. Because if I'm at Citi Field watching the Mets, dude, it's the cheesehead guy. Yo! Rodgers!
Do people just yell that at you?
Blake yells that at me all the time.
Yeah.
It's so great in and out of context. What a great line.
Yeah, it's so funny because that whole campaign went on for like 10 years.
It did. That was a decade-long campaign, which made it transcend into pop culture.
Yeah.
And now it's just it's a thing, and
It's
it's
a part of us now.
There's a good majority of people that's just how they say Aaron Rodgers now.
Yeah, that's how he's referred to.
While we're talking about it, did you come up with that, or was that direction to kind of say it like that, or with that kind of intensity?
I remember the audition. It was just very funny. It was like an audition. It was supposed to be one and done. One commercial, that's it. They lined 5 guys up who kind of looked like me. And they just said, you see Aaron Rodgers and you yell out, Rodgers. And one by one, they all did it. And what I noticed was, in the moment, and I don't know if this got me the job, but what I noticed was they all would just yell it, and they all were just kind of like saying it loud because they thought that was it. That's all you got to do. And in hindsight, I remember thinking I was the only one that took a beat to actually see in my mind Aaron Rodgers and feel like a wave of shock and wonder. And then I yelled out the line, Rodgers,
Made it more believable.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, yeah,
that's absolutely why you got it.
Yeah, because the character doesn't know it's a commercial. The character's the character, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't know if it's a commercial or a movie or a TV show or a stage. It's still about seeing something, staying in the moment, beat by beat, experience it as truthfully as you can, and executing the line. And that's the truth, whether it's a commercial or Hamlet or Focus. And, and then I did, I don't know how many spots. And then, Aaron became a friend, and it was just like, holy shit, this is really. But then it ended, and I'm glad to hear, Rodgers is still, in New York now, and he's going to come around. And believe me, he'll be back.
He'll be back.
He's already throwing. He's out there.
Yeah.
Like, he's practicing.
Yeah. I keep telling him I'm open, but he won't throw it.
What was his initial reaction to that when you first did it in front of him?
It was just a lot of fun, because I've always been football obsessed. I've always loved football. I played football in high school. I was a tailback and I was a defensive back. I was all city. I was extremely fast.
Wow.
You would never know. But back in the day, I was extremely athletic and fast. And so to have it all these years later come around, kind of a weird full circle, and then you're literally working with Packers. I mean, like, it's just so weird. But life is funny,
It's great that it extended into like a 10-year campaign, and you definitely made it what it was. It wouldn't have been a 10-year campaign without you.
No,
There's
you
no
left the
question about it.
impression and absolutely made it what it was.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. But it came time, and it was enough. Like, I had reached the point where, okay, we're good now. Because I wouldn't want to be known just as the cheesehead guy.
Yeah.
And people like put little cheese heads on my tombstone.
Right. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. You're more than that.
But listen, it was a fun gig. It got my kids to private school. And,
Yeah.
good time.
Good for you.
That's awesome.
Well, in comedy in general, do you prefer more room to improv or a well-written script?
Well, a well-written script is always the goal. I did my own movie, I Gilbert, and I wrote it myself, and I brought it into a writing group, and I fine-tuned it for 6 months before banging it out in 3 days.
Wow, 3
and
days.
I poured,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. But it was just like I wrote very quickly and I wrote very slowly because it was just in my mind. I was seeing the scenes literally in my brain. Some people use index cards. I had it all in my brain. I could see every scene. And then I just kind of like, banged it out. But yeah, I mean, you have to have a great script as the sort of foundation, and then from that, if there's an opportunity, if it makes sense, you can improvise. If the directors always tell you the same thing. Let's do that scripted, and then we'll just see. We'll have one play. That's mostly in movies. TV is more controlling about dialogue. They leave, it's all gone through practices and lawyers and all this by the time you actually get a chance to say anything. The one exception was Only Murders when the director John Hoffman was like, Adrian, why don't you just do one? Just play around. And I was shocked because I know it's streaming, but it's just like it was just never like you never hear that. But word must have gone out that this guy improvises because it was the same casting director that cast me in Focus.
Okay. Well, then that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Do.
Yeah. And in Focus, I improvised a lot.
I was going to say, I don't even have to ask you that. There is no way all of the things that worked well for Farhad was written in the script. There's no way. I couldn't be convinced of that.
I mean, I said a lot of crazy stuff. I really did. But a lot of crazy stuff didn't make it, which is good. There's a scene where, towards the beginning of the film, when Will's character meets Margot for the first time, and I'm sitting shotgun with Will, Margot knocks on the window on my side, and she's in the car already, and I approach, and I just sort of tell her
she's in your seat.
To get out of my seat, yeah. And she moved to the back seat, and her butt was right in my face, so I ad-libbed, "Wow, you're beautiful. You Puerto Rican?" Did not make the cut. Did not make the cut.
That should have. That's hilarious.
Because she's got a gray butt, man, and so what would Farhad say if this glorious body is right in front of him? Farhad would say that. He would definitely say, "Wow, you're amazing." It's very Farhadian, yes. But no, I guess didn't make the cut. But a lot of stuff did, and I'm very grateful that I got a chance to work with these guys. And
you got to say that.
I'd love to see those deleted scenes. Like, I want to hear more of those ad-lib.
Well, to be honest, Margot saved my ass because, I was saying some pretty outrageous things during the takes. And not for a second did she break character. And, had she broken character, then the take's no good, But I forget what I said. But there was this line where I say, "Oh, you really like the women here." Well, sure, I guess. You do more than guess, oh, every time you speak, I smell vagina. And she just stayed right in character.
How did she keep a straight face?
Like you can see, if you watch the film, you can see her reactions. She just says like, "Oh my God," but she didn't break character, and that was the key. And of course, it wasn't just about being, silly and vulgar in the Farhadian way. It was, to my mind, Farhad is testing her because it's all about cons, you see, in this movie.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm trying, as Farhad, to see who she really is because I wonder if she really loves Nikki, played by Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying outrageous shit to get her off her game and then test her. So there was a method to this madness, is what I'm saying.
Such a good character.
I like it after both your characters have already become friends and you meet back up and you're showing her the pictures on your phone. That's such a great scene.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great scene by both of you. That was so well done.
Thank you. True story. I'm on the subway in New York, and by myself. Just sort of a common thread here. And some guy comes up to me, and he's about to get off the train, and he shows me his cell phone. He says, "And that's my dick." And he showed me a dick pic.
No, he actually had a dick.
How was it?
Yeah. And he had been sitting opposite me for like, I don't know, 15 stops.
You've
And
been
again,
thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, the guy was planning this.
That's first degree dick pic right there.
What did it look like?
It looked like a dick. I don't know.
Blair, it looked like a dick. What do you want?
You've seen one, you've seen them all, Blair. Come on.
If it was unique, he's like, you got to see it. It's like this crazy. I got to show you.
Yeah. So, and then he just like got off the train, and I was just like shaking my head, like, man, this is just too fucking meta for me, man.
What is going on?
But that does kind of happen. I was like working at the height of the cheesehead thing. I'm on the train, and a guy again checking me out. Not the same guy. He's just kind of looking at me. He waits till he's about to get off the train, and he just looks at me, and he does the belt, like discount double check, discount double check, and he gets off the train. but 20 stops. He was like planning this.
Oh, they're all just staring at you, thinking about it. Like, when is my chance?
Where's my window?
When do I do it?
When can I shoot my shot?
He's gonna love this.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's never seen this before.
Yeah. Here it comes. I'm gonna blow his mind.
That's why the other guy showed the dick pic. He's like, I was gonna double check you, but decided to get a bit more creative.
You might remember my dick more than my double check.
Yeah, everyone would do that.
But it's all fun. It's all good. You know what I mean? Like it's all great.
Those are hilarious fan encounters. We love those stories around here. And you mentioned Gilbert earlier. You are starting to get behind the camera now and have some directing under your belt. As a filmmaker, what type of stories are you most excited to tell?
It really is what is keeping me up at night. It has to be because it's hard. So, long story short, I'm the sidekick to all these stars, and then I hit my 40s, and I'm like thinking about the world and what really kind of like is upsetting me or moving me or keeping me up, and I realized, I have a daughter. At that time, she was 8, and I was wondering about her future, because the world's crazy, and then I just happened once again on the subway. What happens to be on the subway? And the guy came. He approached this woman sitting opposite him. She was gorgeous, just beautiful, very. What's the word? Kind of like. What's her name? Eva Mendes. She looked like Eva Mendes.
Wow.
Really exotic, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's checking her out, and then he goes up to her, and he starts just snapping photos right up to her face. And she's like, "What are you doing?"
What?
Yeah. And she felt violated.
Yeah.
He gets off the train, and she's like kind of shaking because it was just like totally inappropriate. And I put 2 and 2 together. Here's a guy that did this, and how did you get to the point in your life? He must have been like 35, 40 by now. How is this you that you could just objectify someone so easily and just kind of like do that to someone else with no conscience and just, dead? And he wasn't creepy about it necessarily. He was just like
Invasive.
dead. He was dead. He wasn't even that. He was just like a machine that was told, photo, leave. And I became obsessed about it, and then I thought about my daughter, how she's going to have to pick a mate in this crowd. And I thought to myself, this is really what's going on with technology. Like, it's kind of like dehumanizing people. So Gilbert was just basically my attempt at addressing that, because it was really upsetting me. And it's about this one lonely guy who's just like, I don't know. The real world and real women and real people just scare the shit out of me. So I'm just going to build this digital world where I just photograph women, and these are my quote unquote partners, and that's it.
Well, it's a great film.
Thank you, brother. And it's just like him trying to really come to terms with it, because he meets Tasha Polanco in the movie, and now he has to decide between the digital world and the real one, and as we all do, you know. So, and now with AI, it's like, you know, my God. And of course, that's why we're striking, you know, this AI thing.
Right.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll work itself out.
Well, that's good perspective and good insight. You've worked with a lot of this 1%, just everyone, it seems like. Which directors or other actors are you hoping to get an opportunity to work with?
I would love to work with Ben Stiller again. You know, I did a special guest star on Severance. It's going to air soon, whenever they air it, probably next year. And it was a reunion with Ben Stiller, who produces it, and he did, of course, Walter Mitty. I would love to work with Ben again. I love working with Ben. This guy, I don't think he gets the street cred that because we think about him, you know, Something About Mary. We think of all these goofy roles he's had, but the man's flat out brilliant. And like, Severance is just flat out brilliant, and he's the creator behind it, and he's directing these fantastic projects. And I would love to work with Ben again. His work ethic on Walter Mitty was off the chain. He was always the first one there. He directed it, and he produced it, and he starred in it, and that's a terrific movie, I think.
It is such a good movie. It was a great story, and it was a feel-good movie as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, you always want to work with the great ones, you know. Like, I campaigned so hard to be in Francis Coppola's new movie, but I didn't make the cut.
Which one?
I forget what it's called. It's not out yet.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's something he's been working on for many years. He put like $100 million of his own money into it. It's like a big deal. And he's like a personal hero. I mean, because right after Shawshank, the Godfathers are right there in terms of my all time, you know. And I could go word to word with anybody on that movie.
Yeah. Classic. Love The Godfather. Well, let's move on to what we call the Fast Five and get extremely personal here. In this segment, we ask you 5 very general questions, and you answer as quickly as you can.
Oh, boy.
All right. Favorite app on your phone?
Uber.
Good. Me too.
Love that.
I don't drive. I don't drive.
Good
so
answer.
Good answer. Something you have to do every single day?
Tell my wife I love her.
Oh,
sweet.
Love that so much, Adrian.
What's something that you have a collection of or have collected in the past?
I have a collection of seat backs from every movie that I've done. You know those chairs, those cast chairs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
So it's Focus on the back and Forehead on the front. It says Fernando on the front, Walter Mitty on the back. Yeah, I've got all those.
That's a fun collection.
Do you have them all displayed on a wall?
Yeah, in my office.
That's really cool. That's a very cool collection.
Because it's still, even if you've done a lot, you still got to prove yourself. I just did a self-tape for a movie that's part of the Intimate Agreement, so SAG-AFTRA approved it. And it'd be a reunion with these wonderful stars, but you still have to. I still have to do a self-tape, and half the time I have to do self-tapes, and half the time I get offers. So, but I still got to prove myself now and then, and so I have these things up to remind myself, like, hey, you're not just a ham and cheese sandwich. You've done shit, and you
get out there and get some
steak and
good shit done.
right now. Come on.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower for a day, what would it be?
I would say go back in time.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know,
classic time travel.
Are you changing stuff, or are you just like letting
You just
people
wanna
know
chat
that
with people.
you're really smart and you're better than they are?
well, my mom passed on 5 years ago, and I just would want to tell her I love you one more time.
Oh, well, that's
a good choice.
Sweet answer.
yeah, that's heartwarming.
Yeah. All right. Well, what is something that fans would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm thin.
You're thin?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The camera adds so much. No. So I'm the only Dominican in show business. My mom was from the Dominican Republic, and my dad was from Nicaragua.
Wow.
So Dominican. That's
that is a fun fact, and that's definitely rare.
I mean,
absolutely.
I have yet to meet this nice amount of Dominicans, and I think there's like one Nicaraguan actor somewhere I've never met. But there's never been a Dominican combo born in New York. That's never
happened.
Yeah, and if you find one, you have to tell me. But I need to see paperwork. I'll need to see paperwork because I've never seen that.
You mentioned earlier about the playing football and playing on both sides of the ball. And my favorite fun fact about you is that you used to be a track star. You were a runner, right?
Yes. Yeah, and that's why I excelled in football because, yeah, as soon as I saw the hole, I took off. But then, the problem is I'm only 5'8", and once I hit college, it just got too... when they did catch me, they just beat the hell out of me. And I was,
that's not fun.
I got to do something else.
Well, it all worked out well.
Yeah.
Adrian, we like to play a quick game on every episode and include our guest as well. Our Crunchtastic R&D department came up with something tastefully inappropriate for you. There's a lot of track stars with really interesting names, and I'd like to see if you could distinguish the track stars from the adult film stars. Cool.
You're assuming I've watched porn,
This is just a simple guessing game.
Yeah.
You don't have to show your work.
Pop culture.
We'll help you show some work.
Okay.
Yeah, and Blair and Tyler don't know these, so I don't know how much help they'll be, but you do have a lifeline here if you need it.
Okay.
Tyler's pretty well versed at these.
Find my way around the hub.
All right. Find your way around the hub.
And whose hub was it? I guess what I was.
Yeah, Blair. Lay off the hubs.
I'm kidding.
All right, let's play a quick round of track star or porn star. First up, Sparkle McKnight.
That's a porn star.
That is a track and field athlete from Trinidad and Tobago.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
But, that is the ultimate trap. This is too good.
Yeah.
Sparkle
That's
McKnight.
More of a stripper name than a
Yeah.
porn star name.
Now, this is why Biscuit shows why.
Yeah.
All
This is
right.
why he's
Why they
the
pay
winner.
me the big bucks.
I need a strong comeback now.
Yeah.
Strong comeback.
0-1.
Anita Softwood.
Blair, I need help with this one.
Okay, so Adrian, I'm thinking I don't know.
Anita
No, it's-
Softwood.
Softwood, Adrian?
Okay, porn star.
It's porn star.
You're both correct with porn star.
Yay!
You're on the board.
Okay.
Good thing you went with Blair, because I would have went the other way with that one.
You were going the other way.
If it was Anita Hardwood, yeah, exactly, porn star. But Softwood,
Oh,
That's where the
see?
creativity comes in.
nobody need a Softwood.
He's on the board.
All right. Victoria Poon.
Victoria Poon?
Victoria Poon.
Oh, I just love that.
Tyler?
That's track star for sure.
Track star.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lifeline from the house.
That's a Canadian runner. See, Adrian, you taking the pressure off and using the lifelines available.
I think I've laughed to that name under my breath a few times watching track and field on NBC.
Victoria Poon.
It takes a village. We all got to come together here. No pun
We're all here together.
It's group effort.
All right.
Yep.
Couple more here. How about Steele Johnson?
I think that's actually a track star.
I would say track as well.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually an Olympian for Team USA, in fact.
He's nailing it.
Sterling Steele is the porn star.
Sterling is where it's at.
All right, let's end on Dan Damage.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Oh man.
That's tough.
That's a tricky one.
I could go either way.
Turning.
I'm thinking of all the scenarios right now.
Yeah, let's stay with track star.
Going with track star. Blair,
I
you
probably would
agree?
have gone the other way on this one. Damage?
Gaping Dan Damage?
Yeah,
That's a porn star.
Dan Damage is, in fact, a porn star.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he stars opposite Wesley Pipes.
His work with Sparkle was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sparkle
was good.
McKnight. Now that's the trap right there. That could have done this in one. That was so. Thank you for doing that. That was really funny.
That was
Gene.
fun.
Absolutely, that was good. Did you hear about the? There was a Russian porn star. Did you hear about her?
No,
What's
which?
going on?
Nadia Kuchikakov.
Oh, that
Walked right into that.
Yeah.
I was like really like edge of my seat, ready for the news.
I'm buying
Like,
the 8-hour VHS triple feature of that one.
crazy porn star news. We need it.
That's Farhad's favorite joke.
Classic Farhad. By the way, I need a 55 jersey like now.
That would be a fun jersey.
How do I
to have.
get a 55 jersey?
Wow, yeah, let's dig into that. There's
Yeah.
gotta be. You know, I should have taken my jersey. You know,
You
they
should have
make like
taken the
6
jersey.
of them.
You need that
They
jersey.
have like 6, you know, and I just didn't think, you know, because you don't know what's gonna happen, you know.
Hey, we're gonna look into that.
Yeah, we're getting some.
This is not the
Farhad
end of the discussion
55.
when it comes to the Farhad 55 jersey.
Yes.
You got a link coming your way.
Yeah.
Where are you guys based?
We're in Phoenix,
Phoenix. Oh yeah, nice.
here in
Well,
the desert.
congratulations for last night.
Thank you. Thank you.
The D-back.
Yeah, D-back still in the mix, and yeah, it's nice to see them in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
As a Mets fan, I can't stand the Phillies, so I'm pulling for the D-backs. I really
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
How do you
to
feel
hear.
about
Yeah.
the Yankees?
am. Who is that?
Who's that? Yeah. He's a Mets fan.
I know. So you got to love the D-backs then.
Yeah.
Took them down in 0-1.
That's right.
Oh, that's true. Oh my. Oh, that's right. Oh, I laughed so hard that night.
Me
Oh, that's
too.
great.
I laughed so hard.
Randy Johnson, was he on that team?
Yeah, and Kurt Schilling.
And Kurt Schilling.
The
Yeah.
bloody, the bloody sock.
Yeah, that was a
The
good
bloody
team.
1-2 punch. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Good times.
Adrian, I know we got to get you out of here. You have several really big things in the works. Lots just released out of respect for the strike, which we support. We needed to avoid these, which was challenging. But don't forget to check out Adrian's story and stay informed on what he's up to at adrianmartinez.net and follow him on Instagram at Taste of Adrian. Thank you very much for your time, Adrian. We really hope we get the chance to hang out again soon.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, you guys are great. Thank you.
Thank you
Adrian. I
so much,
appreciate
Adrian.
it.
You're so much fun.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Appreciate it.
So, yeah.
Good night.
What a guy.
Just about to say that.
He was so fun.
Hey, it was. Genuine. Cool.
Rodgers! I love the stories about the discount double check and all the people that would do that to him.
I'm sure he gets that all the time.
How could you not?
That just scream at him across.
First of all, he needs his own podcast in the subway with Adrian Martinez.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah, just getting
All things
just pics
Subway.
and,
all the
like,
stories from the subways.
We're gonna rate this dick pic.
That
I
made
want-
my night. That was the story
That
that
was
really
good.
did it for me. The one that showed him the dick, because I love that. That's
Yeah.
like that's my kind of action
Yeah.
to take.
Fans of the show out there, something crunchy, go ahead. Feel free. Come on up to us. Show us your dick pic.
Show us your dick.
I just appreciate that. Again, like, you know, when you're just staring at somebody, like, what can I do to like really be memorable
Yeah.
here? And it's like, this is it.
Show them your dick.
I'm gonna
Blair.
show my dick.
That is one of it's like the funniest part of that movie Focus. In that movie Focus, it really is underrated, and especially the first 60% of that movie is so good.
So good.
And Adrian Martinez is like, even in the movie with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, he was probably the most memorable. And there's that scene, they're catching up and sitting there on this little table in a pretty bistro, and he's showing her this phone, going through the pictures. and he's
that's my
like,
dick.
Yeah, that's my wife. It's my dog. It's my dick. Sorry about that. It's okay.
How she kept a straight face through all of those improv.
I'm impressed.
takes.
I'm impressed with her, and I liked the Margot Robbie stories that we received tonight, and learning more about her
seems like a
production
badass.
company.
That's amazing.
She's awesome. I like the fact that she didn't break character and was like,
No, she's a boss bee.
We might have to have her on now.
no surprise, she's huge success, being smart with her money and starting a production company and all that. No surprises there. But the fact that she can, like, in the comedic roles, working with these types of
That's
actors,
hard
not
to do.
cracking. I'm impressed. Like we said earlier, despite all of her obvious
Imperfection.
physical imperfections. And
Totally. You know what I'm impressed by?
so
New dream car giveaway over at 8080.
You know what I heard?
Feel like it's coming.
new dream car giveaway over at 8080. In addition to the 15% off you get for using code Crunchy, every dollar you spend gets you entered in for a chance to win a brand new Lamborghini plus $60,000 in cash. You do not want to miss out on the 8080. Nor do you want to forget to check out somethingcrunchy.com, where you'll find every episode or links to social media, and the Almighty Crunch Store, where you'll find all kinds of crunchy gear showing that you are a proud citizen of Crunch Nation. Join us every Friday night at 10 o'clock on 97.3 The Rattler, or find us wherever you get your podcast. This has been another episode of Something Crunchy, and as always... Blair's like, I'm not done. I got another line.
I got more in me.
I forgot. I'm not done here.
I wasn't freaking. I was trying not to laugh, and then I was like, I know
gonna
my
laugh.
part's coming up. Hold on. All eyes on me.
Hold on. It's my big moment. I've been waiting all episode for this.
Fucking up, Blair.
Don't fuck it
Never
up, Blair.
let it drop.
We're so close.
Okay,
Sooner
I
or
got
later,
it.
it's got to drop.
I got it.
Oh, poor Blair. This has been another episode of Something Crunchy, and as always,
Don't ever forget to live your crunchiest life.
Blair. Do it again.
noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup. Okay.
Come on.
Don't ever forget to live your crunchiest life.
And be crunchy to one another.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and all that crunchy good shit. All episodes can be found at somethingcrunchy.com and on all podcast platforms. Thank you for listening.
Aw, who's that?
This is my little girl, Nina.
Cute.
My son, Danny.
Oh, it's sweet.
That's my wife, Lita.
Pretty.
That's my dick.
Cool.
Sorry about that. That's my dog.
Aw.
Hate it.